I hope everybody's realized by now, these masks make a difference. We are on the cusp of being able to fundamentally change the nature of this disease because of the way in which we're able to get vaccines in people's arms. We've been able to move that all the way up to the end of May to have enough for every American, to get every adult American to get a shot. And the last thing we need is the Neanderthal thinking that in the meantime, everything's fine, take off your mask.
Well, Mr. President, with all due respect, at least they have the mental cognitive ability to think.
Thank you. And I'm happy to take questions if that's what I'm supposed to do, Nance, whatever you want me to do.
So you hold a Zoom meeting with members of Congress to talk about why they need to rush through your $1.9 trillion pork-laden, bloated, so-called COVID relief, but really, most of the money is going to bail out Democrat cities, Democrat states that have been bankrupted by, shall we say, Neanderthal thinking of killing their economy, killing their people by endless lockdowns and overbearing mandates. And then when it was time to field questions, your staff cut the feed. Who is it that's got a thinking problem? So after Governor Abbott of Texas has announced that they will roll back all statewide mandates and basically be wide open, of course, the lying legacy corporate corrupt mainstream media, the Democrats, and the fear-mongers like the Fauci-Stein bots that absolutely want to keep us masked forever. And you heard me. You can have 14 vaccines. They will always figure out a new reason why you've got to keep the mask on. They continually move the goalpost. This is what leftists do. This is what authoritarians do. They are constantly trying to tell you, we're almost there, and then when you get there, no, we're not quite there yet. They will never voluntarily just say, okay, no more masking. It's never going to happen. The only way the masking is going to go away is if we rebel, revolt, just say, we're not doing it anymore. Now, Texas and Mississippi rolling back these mandates, well, let's stop and think about this. South Dakota never had any mandates in place. And Florida, well, Florida doesn't have a mask mandate in place, but a lot of businesses do. A lot of the chain stores, from Kroger to Walmart, to the businesses in Florida like the amusement parks, Disney and Universal and Busch Gardens in Tampa, they all require the patrons to wear masks. Now, again, he's not saying in Texas you can't wear a mask. He is just saying that his office is no longer going to mandate it. They will make the information available, and Texans, you are free to choose. Shazam, Batman, what a revolutionary idea. In a free republic, giving people the right, the freedom to choose, to make a choice. After all, it's my body, right? Should be my choice whether I want to mask it or not. It's just absolutely unbelievable that they will now try to vilify. You have Popovich, the coach for the San Antonio Spurs. Why? He can't believe the governor would even suggest this. He's also saying all businesses go wide open. Restaurants, fill them. Hey, arenas, fill them. Hey, movie theaters, fill them. Hey, theaters, you want to start having concerts again? You want to start having in stand-up comedians again? Do it. We're open for business. Did you notice that during the lockdown, the big corporate box stores, they were allowed to be open, but the mom and pop stores that did the exact same thing, the big Home Depot could be open, but the mom and pop hardware store couldn't? The mom and pop lumberyard couldn't? If you don't understand that there is far more going on here than just so-called health mandating, if you don't understand this is an absolute killing on purpose, killing of entrepreneurism, because after all, that's small business, that's independent, and they want you part of the collective. You are going to do as you're told. You are going to be a part of that which has been officially sanctioned. Look at what's happening. We're not only losing our voice on social media platforms, but even if we try to create our own social media platforms, they get pulled. And now you have big tech out in Silicon Valley saying they've got the technology, they've got the ability to download into all of our computers a fingerprint. So that it's no longer, if you say something on Facebook that they don't like, they just shut you down on Facebook. Oh no, nay. Now they will trace the very computer that you did that from, and they'll fry the computer so that you can't do anything. Wow. And Donald Trump was the authoritarian? Donald Trump was the dictator? Why, today we had to ramp up security in Washington, D.C., and Congress didn't meet to protect their lives because the Trumpers are coming. If you'd understand that this is a literal takeover, a reset of our republic, and a reset to a socialist, totalitarian, we know what's best for you. We'll tell you when you can take the mask off. We'll tell you when you can come to D.C. again and walk around and it not look like North Korea. Moscow doesn't look like Washington, D.C. does right now. Create a crisis, create a problem, magnify a nothing into something, and then pretend to be concerned and pretend to be the savior and have the ability to set it right. But it means always surrendering your rights. We need to push back, push against the mask mandate. Just stop wearing it. Just stop. Well, so much has been made of Dr. Seuss this week, I thought I would share this with you. I will not wear it on my face. I will not wear it any place. I will not wear it to get in. I will not wear it on my chin. I will not wear it on my ear. I will not wear it out of fear. I will not wear your stupid mask. I will not wear it. Do not ask. The Cat in the Hat. I'm sorry, but the science is more than overwhelming. The mask does nothing. It is simply a virtue signal. It says to everyone, I care. I'm compliant. Oh, and look, mask, fear. We must do what the government experts tell us. We must do what the government experts tell us. The real reason they've gone after Abbott, it's the same reason they went after DeSantis. It's the same reason they go after, and they have forgotten that also in Iowa, they've rolled back all their mandates, including mask mandates. The reason they go after these red states, these red governors, it isn't just the fact that they're Republicans. It's the fact that these governors are showing America, we've been lied to. We've been had. They're trying to manipulate. They're trying to control. And they are trying to absolutely restrict our freedom forever. Look, you can go places without the mask, and you're just fine. They want you to be vaccinated for something that has a 99% recovery rate. But they're telling you that herd immunity is spreading because the vaccinations are spreading. No. Everything has been naturally going down because this is the way viruses work. And we never got the big super spreader events, and we didn't have mass people dying because of Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, and the very same day that Joe Biden dares to tell the governor of Texas, "You're thinking like a Neanderthal," was the very same day that the Biden administration at the Texas-Mexican border released over 100 people who tested positive for coronavirus into the United States. That's right, at the border, they got tested, they were positive, but the Biden administration said, let them in. You think maybe the run on the border has something to do with some numbers going up? No, couldn't be. No. It's the fact you're not wearing your Mr. Coffee filter. I have a phrase for that. Bullhawk.
Will you consider a national mandate that people need to wear masks?
No, I want people to have a certain freedom, and I don't believe in that, no.
I hope everybody's realized by now, these masks make a difference. We are on the cusp of being able to fundamentally change the nature of this disease because of the way in which we're able to get vaccines in people's arms. We've been able to move that all the way up to the end of May to have enough for every American, to get every adult American to get a shot. And the last thing we need is the Neanderthal thinking that in the meantime everything's fine, take off your mask.
Well, President Biden has a lot of problems to take care of. He's got a crisis at the border that he calls a challenge and not a crisis, dismantling all of our immigration laws and protections to protect our border. And so I don't think he's got a lot to say about preaching to my state about how we've handled this COVID-19 virus. Part of the problem here that Senator Scott and others have pointed out is that many states have been overly restrictive in terms of opening the economy, safely going back to school and the like. And what they want, because they have not been able to meet their revenue needs, they want the federal government to bail them out. So I don't think Washington has a lot to say to states like my state about what the appropriate reopening measures are. And the fact of the matter is, if you want to wear a mask, you can still wear a mask. But at some point, the government needs to quit making arbitrary rules that do not have any demonstrable connection with the public health. But there's also a lot of scaremongering that's going on. And we see successful states like Senator Scott's state that successfully reopened their economy. We need to look at this as not just being a one-dimensional issue. We need to think about the victims of domestic violence that have been cooped up with their abuser, with the suicides that have taken place, the children that have fallen farther and farther behind. This is not just a one-dimensional problem. We need to look at the whole thing. And I think Governor Abbott in the state of Texas, I'm proud of the work we've done. I'm proud of the fact we're getting more shots in the arms of people who need it. And I have to tell you, rather than spending roughly 1% of this $1.9 trillion on vaccines, we ought to be all about getting shots in arms of as many people as fast as we can. That's going to be the key to defeating the virus.
So when they say we're going to follow the science, we're going to follow the experts, how come they only follow some scientists, some experts, the ones that spout the narrative that they agree with, they want to promote? Would it have something to do about keeping us under control? Hey, that's it for this quick rant today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and a like. Make sure you're a subscriber to the channel and check us again, because you never know, YouTube probably won't tell you that I posted.